And of course, I'm not in the studio alone. I'm with my guest. My guest is an educationist, and he knows the nitty-gritty of education, of Nigeria education system. And my guest is the person of Dr. Oluwafemi Bibilari. Dr. Oluwafemi Bibilari. Doctor, good morning.
Good morning to all our viewers at home. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, my presenter.
Okay, and how are you?
It's nice to be here.
All right.
I'm fine.
Okay. You're feeling very good today, right?
Oh, thank you.
Okay, just like I said, we'll be discussing about the Nigeria education system. Before we dive into the proposal of moving from 6.334 to 12.4 and all, before we dive into that, how would you describe the Nigeria education system as of now?
Thank you. When we talk of Nigeria education as of now, it's more or less like double-edged sword. Really, you cannot say it is red or it is green. It is sharp or it is blunt. In the sense that in those good days, even primary school leavers, if you see them writing, if you see them constructing English, you will be baffled. Unlike now, that they can do but nothing. In those good days, you don't need to force students to go and take their book and read. They know it is their duty to read. They know it's their duty to revise what they learned yesterday and to revise what they are going to encounter today. But unfortunately, this time around, you keep forcing, bullying, beating them before they do the right through. It is quite unfortunate. But why I say it is double-edged, when we talk of in the old time, there is nothing like computer. But now we are in computer, we are in jet age, whereby even you can learn in the four corner of your rooms without getting to the classroom. You can do your assignments via Google and all other social medias. It's wasn't like that in those days. So that is why I said, well, to some extent, the education in those days is very, very advantageous. Why, if you weigh it with the one we are ongoing now, we now have AI, artificial intelligence, whereby you see robot teaching in advanced countries now. You don't need to face teachers before you educate your children. So those are the difference.
Would you say our education system is actually moving forward, or we are kind of redundant?
Actually, it depends on students. That is what I said. In those days, you see serious-minded. They actually want to learn, and they were in the school to learn. But it's unfortunate this time around, we are forcing them. But the few that has the ability to read, the few that actually wish to learn, they are still ahead of what is practicing in those days. So to me, as an educationist, it is as if I'm even abusing myself if I said education in Nigeria is backward. We are still moving forward. We are moving forward compared to to old age, iron age that they write on the floor, they write on the wall. Now we have books, we have everything.
Okay, now there's something that I would like you to tell the viewers at home, which is what are the challenges facing the Nigeria education system? The problems facing the Nigeria education system. What are these challenges?
Oh my God! When we start to enumerate the challenges that is facing Nigeria education now, that one is a topic on its own. Probably you can be here and saying from morning till night. we will start, if you are enumerating, with the inadequate funding. There is not enough money to run school affairs these days. Everything, everybody, we are now managers. Number two, the infrastructures are not there. Even where we have infrastructures.
What do you mean by managers?
Oh my God, they will ask you to go and manage it. If you are using white chalk board and you have pen, instead of you to write on the board, when the pen given to you is no more writing, the next thing is to dictate. You manage it. So that is what I meant by that. And when we talk of infrastructures, there is no adequate infrastructures in schools. We even thank God where I was in this state of Osun. We have buildings, yes, they are on ground. But what about people that will work there, the manpower? They are not inadequate. And that is why we've been soliciting and begging the government that they should employ more hands in schools. The problem of even half-baked teachers are there. A teacher, a copper that comes to classroom, he or she studied. There is even a boy, he studied engineering. You can't believe it. He said he cannot teach any subject. All what he's doing, he just sit down and help the teachers, just as teachers assistant.
He cannot teach any subject.
Nothing. He's still in the school presently.
And he studied engineering in school.
Yes.
Engineering in school.
I don't understand. There's one that studied biology, and he came to us and begged, please, I can only teach French.
As a biology graduate.
Yes. How do you come about French? He said after leaving the school, she went to French school to learn how to write, how to speak French. So she preferred to teach French than the biology. He actually spent 4 good years in the tertiary institution. So the problem of outdated teachers is there. And as I've mentioned fund the other time, we thank God with the new minimum wage, the teachers to some extent now, at least they too, they can compete with other people in other sectors in the market. So there are a lot of it like that. You go to the libraries in the schools, no textbooks, and people are even now moving to e-libraries. How many schools can boast of 2 or 3 computers for students to work on? So you just advise them after school hours, go to this cyber cafe and learn more. That is what is happening. So these are problems, and that we believe government will assist.
Now, talking about funding, you know, because in the education system we have private schools and we have public schools. Now, okay, let me agree that public schools, could be affected with funding or low funding. Are private schools affected also?
Thank you. It's a very pertinent question. Private schools are also affected. And let me tell you the reason. Things are just so skyrocketed in the country now. How can a proprietor or director of study pay the teachers under him without any stress? And if we said we want to do this, that means we will resort back in charging exorbitantly the pupils, the students. And this will affect the parents. Parents are lamenting. The money is not there. It's not circulating. And we don't want to tax so much. So in other words, there are some private schools that this is affected also. If you want to stand today, I don't want to mention amounts, but you will be charging thousands of hundreds per term. It is then that you can do all the needfuls in the school. So private schools are also affected one way or the other.
Okay. Well, if you are just joining us, what we've been discussing is the Nigeria education system. Nigeria education system. Our guest, Dr. Oluwafemi Bibilari, he's been able to do justice on, firstly, he described how, the education system of Nigeria is as of now. He described that, and also he just talked about the challenges, facing the education system of our great country, Nigeria. He has said it all, and now, just few days ago or weeks ago, there was this information, circulating the media that the 6334 education system is going to be scrapped. Now, the Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, came out and he debunked the rumor that is not true. He only proposed that we should try to inculcate the 12-4 education system, which is 12 straight years of studying, and after that going to the university. He said we should he only proposed that we inculcate that while maintaining the 6334 that we are actually operating presently. The 6334 is 6 years in primary schools, 3 in the junior secondary school, 3 in the senior secondary school, and 4 in tertiary institution. Now, my question is, would you prefer, as an educationist, would you prefer we operate the 12-4 education system, or we maintain the 6334 education system?
Thank you, my presenter.
Yeah.
You see, before I even answer your question, I want to chip in this.
Okay.
There is nobody that will be at the end of affair in this country that will not want his name to be written with an indelible ink. If you want to do one change or the other, if you go to the history of all the ministers of education, they will make sure they introduce something new. I believe that is what is happening now with our man,
Dr.
Tunji Alausa. He also wants his name to be written with an indelible ink. That is one. Two, going to your question, or to what is eventually said when he debunked what he firstly said. It is not possible to run the two systems of education together concurrently without having one problem or the other. If we are maintaining 6334, let him tell us to continue. And if it is 12-4, let us know. Now if you want to talk of the advantages and the disadvantages, honestly speaking, 6334 is as good as it's supposed to be. That is if it is well implemented. If it is followed to the last detail. But it is not. They bastardized it. I thank God that you even mentioned it. 6 years in primary school. Are they spending 3 years in primary school any longer? They will force themselves to be promoted to secondary school in primary 4, which is grade 5. We are begging them at least get to grade 6, which is primary 5. They say no. They want to go to secondary school just because there is a break there. And when they get to the secondary school, The 3 that we talk of, they are spending 2. When they get to GS2, they said they want to write the junior examinations, either Becker or junior NECO, to go to SS class. We will fight tooth and nail before you return them. Go to many schools, there is no GS3. So where is the 6-3? Where is the other 3? And the last 3 that is supposed to be? It is unfortunate in some schools, those that actually knows what they are doing and force it on their students. You can see them in SS2. In SS1, all of them they will drop out. They go to lessons. All these rooms lessons, hard lessons. And the government allows it. So that's the problem. So the 633 of a thing that we are talking of is no longer working. I can't talk of the 4 of the tertiary institution. But the 633 that started is not working. And why? Because there is break. So if Alausa is suggesting that it will be straight 12 years compulsory basic education, thereby there is no break. No parent will come to school and say, let my children or let my ward go to secondary school in primary 4 any longer. It is mandatory 12 years or nothing else. So that is the advantage of the 12-4 that we are talking of.
So are you saying that it is because of the break in between the 633 that is not making the system function well?
That is it. That is what I'm saying. Because you know, it is after 6 years here that you can graduate to secondary school. But why don't you wait for that 6 years? Nobody. No parent is allowing that. As in any nursery school, public schools, you can't even see them in the school any longer when it's after 5.
But some schools, you know, give some kind of students double promotion because they feel, okay, the student is actually, you know, brilliant and all, so they kind of give them the student double promotion. So yes. I don't think you would blame the parents for that.
Yes, you are right. And schools doing that, they are doing it to assist parents of brilliant students. But it is not, even these days we are no longer doing it. I could recollect, even when I was in primary school, I attended nursery and primary school. They used to do that thing that you said. They just, about 4 or 5 in the class, they promote them. Pam. Others will be looking at them in the higher classes. But it is not so any longer. It is parents that are forcing it on teachers, on proprietors, on headmistresses these days. And it is not good at all. That is why we are producing half-baked students.
Okay, now let's come into comparison now. How would you compare, you know, or how would you describe our education system to the other parts of the world, like to the education system of the other part of the world? Are we actually in a good place right now, you know, compared to the education system of the other parts of the world?
Thank you. You see, if you travel to Europe, especially UK, if you travel to Brazil, even if you travel to Ghana in Africa here, you will discover the system they are practicing now is 12-4 system of education. And if you want to blend well with the global educational practice these days, then we have to move. If you go to UK, you will see them after high school, they start working, because within that 12 years they've been taught one trade or the other. They know where you are useful. Even if you go to tertiary institution, you follow it straight off. They've known who will be an engineer. They've known who will be a broadcaster. Unlike our own here, we are just master of all. Until you get to tertiary institution, you can't know where you belong. But in their own case, they know where they belong. That is why we have expatriates in them. They know this job more than we do. In China, you see primary school students right from the beginning. They started knowing whether you will be an engineer or not. They practicalize mostly what they are learning over there. I came back from Canada just about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I saw them. I attended many classes. I know what they are doing there. It is practical and encouragement. You will see teacher, they are even doing more than parents. Oh, you can do it. Even if the student is doing nonsense, writing nonsense, they don't even have pupils there. Right from beginning, they call themselves students. So if he's doing nonsense, you will still be encouraging him. Oh, clap for yourself. Excellent. You can do better. Do it this way. Let's do teamwork. You see the way they interact with the pupils, with the students.
The teachers.
The teachers. The way they are interacting with them. It's not like that here. You see about 4 teachers in a classroom teaching just about 12 students. 4 teachers. One will handle this, the other one will handle another one. We are not doing, and they are doing the job happily. You see most of the people over there now, they are even going for childhood education because they know it's well funded. They know they will do well in the classroom. So compare what is going on in Nigeria with what is going on over there. There are 2 different things. There are 2 different things. But if we actually inculcate this system of 4, at least to some extent, you blend with what is happening globally.
In your statement, you said something about what you saw in Canada, just recently. You said teachers actually encourage the students, even when the students are not doing well, they still kind of encourage the students, to do more. That okay, they can actually do better, which is not actually happening here in Nigeria.
No.
So now, are you trying to say that here in Nigeria, our teachers need to do well or do better?
That is what we are saying. There should be training and retraining.
Not flogging the students.
Not just flogging.
Over and over.
Not just said because I've gotten teaching certificate, then I should be in school permanently. I mean, the world is dynamic. Things are changing. They should retrain them. They don't bully over there. You can't beat anybody over there. You have to encourage. You can do it better. I mean, the system of calling police, it is very easy to them. They will say they will call 911 right now. You can't beat them. So you encourage them. It's enemical to beat, to flog over there. Here, I don't know until I'm even exposed. I used to tell my teacher in my school that a teacher that is walking around without cane is not a teacher. That you just have to continue carrying cane. It is then students will run away from you. They will know, hey teacher, Mr. A is coming. Mr. B is coming. Yeah. They don't do that over there. So it's incomparable.
Alright. Fún àwọn ènìyàn wa tó ń bẹ nílé tí wọn kò gbọ́ fìtínà èdè tí à ń sọ láti àárọ̀, ohun tí à ń sọ ni ètò ẹ̀kọ́ wa ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Ètò ẹ̀kọ́ wa, ibo ni a wà? Ṣé à ń lọ síwájú àbí ṣé a kàn wà bí adágúndò? Ohun tí à ń sọ láti àárọ̀ nìyẹn. Ìdí nìta pé bàbá wa dókítà Olúwafẹ́mi Bíbílárí láti bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ètò ẹ̀kọ́ wa ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà, pé kí ni àwọn ohun tó jẹ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìdìgbòlù tó ń kọjú tó ń dojúkọ ètò ẹ̀kọ́ wa ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà, kí ni àwọn ohun tó yẹ kí a ṣe láti rí pé ètò ẹ̀kọ́ wa lọ síwájú sí i, kí ni àwọn ìgbésẹ̀ tí ẹ ká gbé, àti wípé lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta yìí mínísítà tó jẹ́ aṣojú ètò ẹ̀kọ́ fún orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ó jáde ó sọ wípé ètò tí a ń lò ìyẹn 6334 tí a ń lò tẹ́lẹ̀ wípé ó dáa o, pé àmọ́ ó mú agẹ́ bí ìmọ̀ràn wípé àmọ́ o a tún lè gbìyànjú ti 12-4 o, ìyẹn ètò tá a lò tẹ́lẹ̀ ní ẹ̀fà ẹ̀ta àti ẹ̀rin, ó níyẹn dáa, ó ní ṣùgbọ́n ó mú agẹ́ bí àmọ̀ràn wípé a tún lè wo ti méjìléníẹ̀wá àti ẹ̀rin pé a tún lè lò yẹn wò. Bàbá wa dókítà Olúwafẹ́mi, a fẹ́ kí ẹ sọ fún àwọn ènìyàn tó ń bẹ nílé ní èdè àbínibí wa, báwo ni ẹ ṣe lè ṣàlàyé ipò tí a wà, ìyẹn ipò tí ètò ẹ̀kọ́ wa wà ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí, báwo lè ṣe lè ṣàlàyé fún àwọn tó ń wò.
ẹ ṣe atọ́kùn, ètò ẹ̀kọ́ wa lórílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ó ṣe ní láàánú pé ìgbà méjì ló pín sí. ṣé ẹni tí a bá gbé wò ní ayé àwọn bàbá wa àwọn Awólọ́wọ̀, ètò ẹ̀kọ́ gbà náà oníwèé 6 péré tó bá sọ òyìnbó báyìí bí àlọ́mọ yunifásitì fi lè sọ òyìnbó tó bá kọ̀wé sílẹ̀ báyìí wọ́n máa ń pè kankan ní kọ́sìfù ńgbà náà wọ́n ò gbẹ sílẹ̀ ni. ní ìgbà náà ẹ̀kọ́ dáa púpọ̀ tó jẹ́ pé ìgbà tá à sí sọ yìí náà kò sí pé à ń fi owó kàwé, ìjọba ló ń sanwó ẹ̀kọ́. ìwọ tó jáde yunifásitì gan, àwọn kọ́lọ̀ mọ́tò tó fẹ́ gùn ni wọ́n mọ̀ béèrè, ó ti mọ̀ bóyá pijó ni bóyá àjàpá ni. nísìn kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́, torí pé owó tí ìjọba ń bù sí ètò ẹ̀kọ́ kò tó nǹkan mọ́, owó ìdákọ̀mu ni kò tó ra nǹkan sílé ìwé. ẹ lọ ọ́n pè kan ẹ̀kọ́ sáyẹ́ǹsì, a gbọ́dọ̀ ní láàbù ibi tó ń kó oògùn kó ìgò gbogbo ẹ̀ sí, ó lójú ilé ìwé tó ní mọ́. tá a bá lọ síbi tó ń kọ̀wé lọ́jọ́ sí láìpì, ó lójú ìwé gidi tí ẹni bá ń bẹ̀ mọ́. àwọn aláǹtakùn tó ń ṣeré pánánjà yàkadì níbẹ̀. pẹ̀lú gbogbo eléyìí a rí pé ètò ẹ̀kọ́ wa kìí ti kó ń lọ síwájú lọ títí bẹ́ẹ̀. ṣùgbọ́n tá a bá tún gbé wò nídàkejì o, kọ̀ǹpútà ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ o. níbi tá a wà báyìí ǹjẹ́ jẹ́ mọ̀ pé à ń kọ́ àwọn kan lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ni bá a ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí. ètò ẹ̀kọ́ ń tẹ̀síwájú náà nìyẹn. àwọn iléèwé kan wà wọ́n ń pe àwọn kan ní bí èrèdè èèyàn rọ́bọ̀tì, òun ló ń kọ́ èèyàn ń bẹ̀. alùpùpù ẹ̀kọ́ ń lọ síwájú náà nìyẹn. mo ta bá púpọ̀ tí wọ́n bá jókòó sínú yàrá rẹ̀, kọ̀ǹpútà wà ń bẹ̀, fóònù wa alágbèéká wa a lè fi mọ́ kẹ́kọ̀ọ́. títí sábà gbéṣẹ́ kan fún wa tí ò yé wa, èyí ẹ lọ béèrè lọ́wọ́ fóònù yín, yóò sọ fún yín tí ẹ sì mọ̀. kò sí rùyùn láyé àtijọ́ o. bẹ́ẹ̀ náà wá ní àṣìlò fóònù tá a la gbé lọ́wọ́. àwọn kan òun wọn tẹ̀sílẹ̀ ó fi mọ́ ìwé tó yẹ kẹ́kà gan wọn ní kà á. láyé àtijọ́ kò sí pé à ń na wọn kó tó lọ kàwé, wọ́n kàwé wọ́n tún lọ sóko. ní ìsinyìí ọ̀rọ̀ ọmọ tí ń lọ iléèwé wọn ò ní gbèwé lọ́wọ́ o. ìmí iléèwé ni ìwé rẹ̀ wà. ẹ̀yà púpọ̀ ló fẹ́ kàwé lé, àwọn òbí náà sì lé àràn wọn lọ́wọ́ torí àbẹ̀rẹ̀ ìwé rẹ̀ dà, iṣẹ́ tán gbé fún ọ àmúrelé rẹ̀ dà, so ti ṣe. so ẹ̀kọ́ Nàìjíríà ó pín sí méjì.
dókítà wa, kí lẹ̀yin rò pé ó jẹ́ bí àwọn ìṣòro tó ń dojúkọ ètò ẹ̀kọ́ wa?
ẹ ṣe ìkànnì wọn náà mo ti kọ́kọ́ sọ wọn o.
nípa owó
ò tó. èkejì olùkọ́ ò tó. ẹ̀kẹta tó tólùkọ́ ti wà ó yẹ kán tún wọn kọ́ sí kán tún wọn lọ léèwé sí kò sí mbẹ̀. ẹ̀kẹrin bá a ṣe ń sọ ìwé ó yẹ kó wà ní gbogbo àwọn ilé ìkọ́wé sí níléèwé ibi tá a tún pè ní laboratory ó yẹ kán ṣe dáadáa kóògùn kí o gbọ́ nǹkan táwọn ọmọ wà ohun tí ẹ̀kọ́ ìlú èkó tó fi tayọ tiwa nìyí o láti kékeré la ti ń pẹkàn rókò làwọn ń ṣe lọ́hùn àti kékeré wọ́n ti mọ ọkọ wọn tó bá fi àwọ̀ eléwé mọ́ àwọ̀ pupa àwọ̀ báyìí ní ó fún ọ àwọn ọmọ ń pọ́ íǹkì fúnra wọn ni kí ló fẹ́ fẹ̀yìn ṣe á ní òun fẹ́ kùn pẹ̀lú àwọ̀ kínní òun dẹ̀ mọ̀ kó tó ń bá mú àwọ̀ eléyìí mélèyìí ni ó ṣiṣẹ́ ìwé ẹ̀ ò sí ń bí nítorí pọ́nmù kankan mọ kéré yọ́ọ̀nù kankan lọ́dọ̀ wa.
ẹ ṣe gan bàbá òun láti gbọ́ bẹ́yẹn lẹ́nu dókítà Olúwafẹ́mi Bíbílàrí wọ́n sọ fún wa wípé àwọn ohun tó jẹ́ kùdẹ̀kùdẹ tó ń dojúkọ ètò ẹ̀kọ́ wa ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà nípa owó àti wípé àwọn olùkọ́ ò tó àti pé àwọn olùkọ́ wọn tó tún wà ńlẹ̀ gan wọ́n tún gbọ́dọ̀ tún ṣe kíni wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ tún ka ìwé kún ìwé they need to evolve wọ́n ní gbọ́dọ̀ ka ìwé kún ìwé àti pé wọ́n tún gbọ́dọ̀ ní ẹ̀mí ìkónimọ́ra ẹ̀mí àti kó àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ mọ́ra kì í ṣe pé ká máa ná akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ká máa ná ṣáṣáṣá tí a bá ná akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ṣáṣáṣá ẹ̀rọ á máa bá a àdìgbé kò ní fún wa sílé ìwé tó wá tó àsìkò tó láti lọ sílé ìwé a máa sunkún àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí kárí pé a bójútó láti pé kí ni ètò ẹ̀kọ́ wa ó lọ sókè ní báyìí bàbá wa àti a sọ nǹkan ní èdè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì bẹ́ẹ̀ ká sọ ní èdè àpèdèbè wa ìyẹn nípa ohun tí mínísítà wa sọ dókítà Túnjí Aláùsá ó ní nípa ètò tí à ń ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ìyẹn ètò ẹ̀kọ́ 6334 àti ilé tó sọ 124 ṣé ẹ̀yin rò pé ti 6334 yẹn ó dáa ju 124 yìí ni àbí ṣé 124 yìí àmọ̀ràn 124 tó mú wáyé ṣó jẹ́ àmọ̀ràn tó kó máa dáa ju 6334 yìí.
ẹ ṣe atọ́kùn ó sì bẹ̀ oníbòwò náà ṣe pin òun ni ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn olóòtú wa pẹ̀lú ètò ẹ̀kọ́ oníkálukú náà nífẹ̀ẹ́ mọ́ fi yùn lélẹ̀ pé nígbà tó ń wà ń bẹ̀ òun ló ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ ilé òun ló ń dá ilé sílẹ̀ òun ló pọ̀ jù ṣùgbọ́n kágbéyìn fẹ́gbẹ́ kan náà kí wọ́n lọ sí béèrè ilé tí ẹ béèrè ṣe rí ẹ̀kọ́ ọdún mẹ́fà ọdún mẹ́ta àti mẹ́rin èmi ò rí tó burú ń bẹ̀ o ńgbà àwọn bẹ̀rẹ̀ rẹ̀ gbogbo wa la pé àwọn tó ń ro kínní wọ́n rí wò tá a fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ ńgbà náà ṣùgbọ́n ó ṣe láàánú pé àtọ́ ó ṣe yẹ kí àtọ́ àti tá náà tọ́ ó wá ti dá di ẹran onídìí ṣé rí mẹ́fà àkọ́kọ́ tẹ́ ẹ pé rí nǹkan àwọn ọmọ ọmọ dúró pé mẹ́fà mọ́ tó bá ti pé mẹ́rin làwọn òbí òtún wọn sọ pé ọmọ yìí ti dàgbà èló wà lọ́dún rẹ̀ á lọ́mọ ọdún mẹ́sàn-án sábà ọdún mẹ́sàn-án ló ti wá dàgbà àwọn fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ gbé lọ kí wọ́n lọ ilé ìwé gíga ni ó ti tó ilé ìwé gíga lọ àwọn ẹgbẹ́ rẹ̀ sáájọ bímọ ńgbà kan náà wọ́n ti wà nínú ilé ìwé gíga ńgbà tẹ́ ẹ bá sọ tẹ́ ẹ bá lé ẹ̀gbọ́ wọ́n ò lè mọ wọn lápá ni ilé ìwé aláṣà àjẹun tó wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ yín gan ni wọ́n ò mú lọ tẹ́mọ̀ rí tẹ́mù tó wọ́n mọ̀ ń bẹ̀ so àwọn òbí arọ̀ wọ́n kán jẹ́ kí alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ ẹlẹ́ẹ̀mẹ́fà àkọ́kọ́ ẹ̀ kán jẹ́ kó ṣiṣẹ́ ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹta àkọ́kọ́ náà tọ́mọ́ bá ti dé ìwé kejì ó ní àwọn fẹ́ kó lọ sí iléèwé girama àgbà ó tún tó girama àgbà lọ ẹ̀ẹ́wìtì náà tún ní so àwọn òbí gan náà à ń ṣe púpọ̀ lọ́rọ̀ yìí o àákàn àtúrà àwọn ìjọba ní táwọn náà bá fa àkékọ́rí ẹ̀rí nígbà kankan tó kọ́kọ́ sọ pé ọmọ ọdún méjìdínlógún ló lè wọ iléèwé gíga ẹ gbogbo àwọn òbí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa ìṣòkò tó tòrí wa torí àti ti ọmọ wa tó yẹ pé ọmọ ọdún mẹ́rìnlá náà ń wọ iléèwé gíga lákòókò náà ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tárí wuyewuye pọ̀ wọ́n ti gbà ní ìsìnkú jẹ́ ọmọ ọdún mẹ́ẹ̀ẹ́dógún ìyẹn 16 years ó tún fi dáa díẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n káwọn gbọ́mọ fò tí ó wáyé pé a jẹ́ kí ẹ̀ẹ́ta kó ṣiṣẹ́ ni kò sí ní tó dáa tó ó dáa pọ̀ àwọn tó rò wọ́n rò dáadáa ṣùgbọ́n pẹ̀lú bí a ṣe gbé kò dáa mọ́ torí wọ́n ti mọ̀ pé ẹ̀ẹ́ta àkọ́kọ́ ọmọ míì lẹ́yìn ẹ̀ẹ́ta ń ni ó ti jókòó lé àwọn là ń pè ní drop out náà ni mẹ́rẹ̀ ìṣègbò kiri ìgboro àwọn míì láwọn òrówó táwọn fi dọ̀ka mẹ́ta èkejì ṣùgbọ́n tíjọba bá sọ pé dandandandandan gbogbo ilẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ lọ ọdún 12 àkọ́kọ́ níléèwé láàárín ọdún 12 àkọ́kọ́ wọn ti fi iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ kọ̀ọ̀kan kún gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n ṣe ń sọ o tẹ́kọ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ mọ iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ kan pàtó kó tó di pé ó wà tẹ̀ lọ léèwé gíga ẹni tó bá lóore ọ̀fẹ́ àti lọ ẹni tí ò bá lóore ọ̀fẹ́ àti lọ kò ní jẹ́ ìṣòro fáwọn òbí náà tó ti kọ́ṣẹ́ ọwọ́ kan láàárín ọdún 12 tó wà níléèwé òun so látàrí ìdí èyí mínísítà wa wọ́n ríro ṣùgbọ́n kákan ṣe pìrì ká jàgbà báyẹn làwọn èèyàn fi sọ pé kí ló tún dé ẹ̀tún ti dé o òun ni àfiníkan ní ṣùgbọ́n.
Okay, we've heard it all from our guest, Dr. Oluwafemi Vilari. I mean, he has said it all. In promoting our education system in Nigeria, it's a combined effort. I mean, the government has its own role to play, the students has their own role to play, parents has their own role to play, and the schools, teachers, they have their own roles to play. So it is a combined effort to see that our education system in Nigeria, go forward. Exactly. We all have our own roles to play. And once again, I'll say thank you to our guest, Dr. Oluwafemi Vilari, for coming on our show today. Thank you, Doctor.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we would have loved to go further, but due to our time constraints, we won't be able to go further than these. Okay. And firstly, we have to appreciate people that are behind the success of this program. Right from our cameraman and also our producer Shola Ogunleye, our special producer Adesoye Awodeji, and also our executive producer Adiola Adebayo. I want to say thank you for making sure that this program it is a success. And once again, I remain your host Abayomi Adeyemi. Join us tomorrow for another beautiful edition of AM Cafe. And for now, I say good morning.